Here's just a very quick peek inside my, I guess the logo's on the lid, DVT4. Now, you know it's a DVT4 because it's got a piece of plastic blocking the USB shaped port at the back, which is not actually a USB port, but that's fine. It's not actually connected to anything on that board. There's the header, just there's the USB port itself. Anyway, something to do with arcade version of this. Yeah, I'm not a bit sketchy on the details. So things of real excitement are the clock battery, of course. Didn't cause too much damage to nearby things, resistors and capacitors, and the Xbox is pretty much fully functional, so it's quite good. We've got the MCP X2 in this particular one. As you'll notice, the RAM is all populated. 256, I believe, or is it 128? 256, 64. I can't remember. I'm not an Xbox guy, really. It's the video encoder. And if this was an arcade version of DVT3, I believe, there'd be something up here, another connector. Possibly, which is why it's just blank space. Over here we have the particular configuration. So those chips are at different locations. U7D1, for example, is a Hyundai TSOP. That guy there, a little code right next to it. Pretty fun. U6E1. U6E1 is X2, which is this guy, NVIDIA chip. U7B1. U7B2, close. Oh yeah, that's on there, DXF, apparently. U7B1, there he is. Hiding up there. So that chip, that chip, that chip, and that chip are the ones that they mark on their configurations. What else is there? It's sort of fun. I'm actually going through this and replacing the IDE cable with a nice fancy cable, 24-inch. This is the one that came out of it, which connects into that board over there. And from there, the DVD drive has its own little cable. So I might be able to leave that one in place, or worst case, I could actually take this old PC one and just slice using an X-Acto knife, cut off one of the sides of the cable, if I need to. I don't know. We'll find out. Actually, come to think of it, it's not like I'll be using the optical drive too much because it's a Thompson. It's a Thompson, being a revision 1 board essentially. Yeah. So that's just a very quick overview of the DVT. Why stop there? Just realised there's a cable coming out here. That's right. We've stuck a SATA drive in there. There's something with the... because the BIOS on here is a sort of official firmware, it's got a limitation of 120 gigabytes. So I went with, I had a 120 gig SSD lying about. Figured why not? Popped it into a caddy, which cost about $10. That's got a little $10 adapter. The SSD is probably the most expensive part out of all the things here, which is amazing given how cheap SSDs have become. So that actually fits in really well. I was really impressed with that. It actually just went all in nice. It fits nice. But then, of course, the IDE cables give you a bit of trouble on the Xboxes if you use SATA. SATA converters, I should say. SATA to parallel. And for whatever reason, you've got to bump up to the fancier this stuff. 80 pin or 80 conductors or whatever you want to call it. IDC 80. It's not really 80 pin. I mean, I guess it is 80. It's got 80. It's got 80 little things in it. They've got to go somewhere, right? What else? So this data cable for the Xbox goes up to that board as well. What is it? It's interface, Xbox interface. That's not very exciting. There's another board somewhere hanging off here. That looks like it's got the old, oh yeah, serial looking port. It's quite unpopulated though. It looks like it could have had a few more things in an earlier revision that they sort of deemed unnecessary for this late in the development cycle. This one is classed as a prototype. It says it on the bottom. It was tough for me to have to break through the seal, or rather lift them, and to get the screws out. So I don't really like doing that, but at the same time, knowing it's that bloody clock battery in there. You know, it's a tough decision to make, but someone's got to do it. I guess it's better to be me than anyone else, since I don't mind that much. I like tinkering. Apart from that, it's pretty much the same as the Kasumi board I was looking at in the other Xbox. An old Kasumi Blue. I like the way they have a fan there. That's kind of exciting. But anyway, I'm able to get folding this cable. I might actually have a quick demo of this once it's all back together in one piece, just to show that it can boot retail games, because there's a thing installed, and you can also use the neighborhood thing to do something. Yellow or yellow, I believe it's a pun off the word yellow, so yellow neighborhood. Man, that's a useless piece of information I have. But thanks for the people who developed it, both who had names that were yellow or something was yellow. Something about, I hope not Coldplay. Don't really like that song. No. That's fine. Some people... Whoa! Text. Pretty cool. So anyway, thanks for tuning in and watching this video. Interestingly, I guess while I've got this here, this is the original hard drive out of it. So I found out after imaging it that I accidentally, because the hard drives are, both 10 gigabyte, I think. Yep. I accidentally popped this in the Kasumi Xbox and it just booted up to the dashboard, and I was like, that's weird. Shouldn't that have booted to my soft modded install? And it turns out I was using the wrong drive, and I was like, whoops. But that's interesting. So if you take it out of all the drives are unlocked and nulled, I believe. So I can just swap them around as I go. It is interesting to note though that the restore disk, which I have misplaced, I had it here a minute ago. It does lock the hard drive, but it can use any hard drive, which is sort of fun in a way. So, for example, this one that's in there, I've installed all the Xbox, I think it's 5843 maybe, recovery. And then I updated that to 59 something perhaps, I think it is. Yeah, and it works fine. You just got to do it over the network, which is no problem. Just plug it into Ethernet. Use your Windows 7 machine, I think it was. I don't think it didn't play nice with 10 or XP as far as I could tell. That's alright. Virtual machines are there for a reason. Yeah. Anyway. Pretty fun. Thanks for watching. You've been watching a video by Shane McRetro. There we go, development kit. Oh, there we go, at the back. So we've got 2 ports, and this one is actually covered up by a piece of plastic. That's the USB-like port, which doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. Kind of fun. Not really. Also found that you can just plug like an old... Gosh, I don't know how I've still got an IDE. Parallel IDE optical drive in this day and age. January 2007. But I use this because the Thompson's not working very well. As long as you leave this this data cable, it sort of tells the Xbox that the right hardware's there. Doesn't seem to complain too much. Of course, one time when I was restoring it, I put the CD in the Thompson drive and was wondering why it wasn't working. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been an insight into the DVT4. McRetro out.